I was like the prodigal son. I decided to abandon my father's presence, the protection he had for me, to live life my way. And I ended up having more than 3 car accidents, several of them alcoholic, and 2 overdoses. I wanted to look at the things that existed in the world, that the media, television, movies, my friends lived, and I wanted to live that life, abandoning my father's presence to simply live the worst kind of life I could ever imagine. When I reached a certain age, I thought, now I'm not a boy anymore. I thought I was a man and that I could make my own life decisions. At first, it seems like everything is fine. And that was a curse for me, because for almost 10, 15 years of my life, I was isolated. And it's amazing, it's like the years went by and instead of moving forward, I was in the same place. I didn't achieve anything that people desire in this world, and worse, I had no peace. And in this search for happiness, which I thought was true happiness, I started following my friends. So, it starts with going out a little, then you take your first sip of beer, your first sip of a drink, all to try and fill that moment. And it just kept getting worse and worse. So, since I could no longer control this life of searching for happiness everywhere and not being able to find it, I decided to live alone. It was even worse then, because I started living recklessly. It was drinking every day, drugs every day, partying every day. And in that process, my life was flashing before my eyes. And when that party ended, when the next day came, I felt an emptiness in my soul. I even celebrated one of my birthdays by writing my name on a giant mirror with more than 30 grams of cocaine, me and 3 or 4 other people. We spent that day partying all night, then went into the next morning, and even then, when it was all over, I was still broken. But I know that the altar still had a new life for me. And I began to remember how good it was to live in the presence of God. I began to remember everything I learned when I was a boy, when I was young. And I remembered that I could try again, because God was ready to receive me. I decided to go back to God's house. And when I got there at the church, the pastor gave me guidance, gave me direction, and he told me, "Young man, you need to make a covenant with God. You need to leave everything you've done and embrace this life with God, do things differently." That was exactly what I wanted. I wanted to do things differently. When I decided to make a covenant with God, my life changed. I was able to see that I had wasted so much time in my life. I had made so many mistakes. I tried so hard to do everything I wanted, but what God had in store for me was much greater, much better than I could ever have dreamed. He blessed me with the greatest gift, the greatest blessing a man can have. When I placed my life in God's hands, He gave me the Holy Spirit. If I have God with me, within me, I don't need to worry. Because if the God who created the heavens, the earth, who created everything, lives in me, what difficulty, what problem will defeat me? If I have God, I have peace. So, first, I had His love within me. Before, I was looking for it in women. With God's help, I won over one woman, and she's not just any woman. She's a blessing, because having a woman of God has nothing to do with what the world can give. So, my life has completely transformed. I can only thank the church, which was like a mother to me. It welcomed me. I had no family, I had no luck, I had nothing. And you who have been away for a year, 5 years, 10 years, it doesn't matter how long. It doesn't matter what you did, it doesn't matter what you are doing now. But if you want to return to God, God is waiting for you with open arms. He doesn't care about your past. He doesn't care who you are today, but He cares about you. He wants you back. Come back to God. He is waiting for you with open arms to transform your life and bless you until the end of your days. He is waiting for you.